Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot is out.
McBlam Racing presents NASCAR. Tonight, it's the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Twice a year, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series comes home to Daytona International Speedway, a 2.5-mile track where names like Petty, Pearson, and Earnhardt have all claimed victory. Throughout this Let's Play, we have made a name for ourselves here at the Super Speedways. While our sponsorship and number may change, the objective always remains the same: to be a contender for the NASCAR Winston Cup. I'm Mikey, your commentator and driver of the new number 83 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet, and the countdown to green is underway as 43 drivers and teams stand at the ready to take on the challenge that is Daytona.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Well, here's the starting lineup.
Starting out front are the Napa car and the Mark Martin Ford. Starting in row 2 will be the Singular Wireless Chevrolet and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. In row 3 are the Valvoline Pontiac and the Ganassi Racing Dodge. In row 4 are the 98 car and the Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet. Rounding out the top 10 starting spots are the Target Dodge and the Home Depot Pontiac. The 6th row has the Interstate Batteries Pontiac and the DuPont Chevrolet. In row 7 are the GM Goodwrench Service Plus Chevrolet and the Haviland Ford. Starting the race from row 8 are the Pennzoil Chevrolet and the DeWalt Power Tools Ford. And in row 9 are the 174 car and the 46 car. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader, will start towards the front. Starting the race from row 11 are the M&M's Pontiac and the Motorcraft Ford. The 12th row has the 63 car and the 117 car. Starting the race from row 13 will be the Team Rusty Ford and the 88 car. In row 14, we have the Kellogg Chevrolet and the Caterpillar Dodge. Starting from row 15 will be the 111 car and the Sprint Dodge. In the 16th row are the UAW Delphi Chevrolet and the Rubbermaid Ford. In the 17th row are the Kodak Chevrolet and the Citgo Ford. In the 18th row are the Alltel Ford and the Dodge dealers UAW Dodge. Starting the race from row 19 are the 172 car and the Square D Chevrolet. The 20th row has the 27 car and the 26 car. Starting the race from row 21 will be the Tide Ford and the America Online Chevrolet. And finally, starting from the rear of the field will be the 16 car.
And there you have it, guys. There's the starting lineup for the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Let's go ahead and get this race underway.
20
straight weeks of racing to decide the NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion begin now. The crowd is on its feet. The 43rd Pepsi 400 goes green on NBC.
Good start, still 2x2, pretty much a dead heat between Mark Martin and I. Mark Martin's going to stay on the top lane. Bill Elliott's going to follow us through. Mark Martin's off the pace up top. No help from behind. We're pulling a gap on the field. Mark Martin had no help up top to help get him through the gears. Everyone just kind of bailed out on the bottom, but we have pulled a significant gap already. As we go down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4, little loose into the corners. We got to be really careful here in turns 3 and 4. This can kind of be our Achilles heel here. Ooh, yep, we do make it through just fine. As we come around to complete lap 1 and get 5 bonus points towards the championship. Yeah, Elliott's still running second. Looks like Sterling Marlin running third. But we've pulled a significant gap on the field. Wow. I didn't expect to pull that much of a gap. Yeah, we pulled a really, really big gap. We might be sitting pretty here for a little while, so that's actually going to work out for us. But there's usually always one car. I mean, at least the trend has been this season. There's always one car that's kind of just running behind us, and yes, usually either Dale Jarrett or Sterling Marlin. And Sterling Marlin might just be trapped back there and mired in traffic and can't get around anyone. Because if you remember, Sterling Marlin was the strong car. Oh yeah, he's in second now, so he might be coming up here pretty shortly. If you remember, Sterling Marlin was the strong car. He was the car to watch out for in the early part of the season when we first came to Daytona for the Gatorade Duels, Budweiser Shootout, and also the Daytona 500. He was right there with us, not letting us get too far whatsoever. And even at Talladega, he was pretty. He was still fast. He was really good at the super speedways. But I don't know. I think we pulled too much of a gap on him. It might be too little, too late here. But I mean, I wouldn't put it too far past him if he could get up through that, start catching up to us here pretty soon. Oh boy, got really loosed off through the tri-oval there. Yep, and so as you can see, guys, we have gone back to the number 83, and we will finish out the season in the number 83. We're going to stay with our privately owned team, single car team. We had to leave RCR. Well, our contract with RCR was up, and I got actually I got 2 package sponsor offers. I got another one from Rockwell Automation, RCR, but the sponsorship's objectives were to, I believe you had to qualify 4th or better, average finish of 10th, and I'm not there yet. I'm an average finish of 13th, or 13 point something or something like that. I'm not there yet. Qualify 4th. I think I could probably get there. And there was another one. I'm trying to remember what the other one was. 5th or better in the point standings. And I think I can get up there in the top 5 in points. That's not the problem. Actually, the qualifying may be an issue because we have a lot of mile and a halves coming up. A mile and a halves is hit or miss. And then the real kicker was the average finish in 10th. And if it was just finishing 10th, I would probably be more inclined to do that. But the average finish in 10th, we're around 13th right now. So I mean, even if we win this race, it's gonna be a slow climb to get there, and it's only a 12 race. It was only a 12 race package, so I just didn't see it feasible because there's gonna be a lot of races that we just wouldn't get paid for, and we don't want that. We don't need that right now. We need to keep getting the most amount of money that we can get. Boy, we pulled a really, really big gap on these guys. People are coming down pit road already, so pit strategy is in effect. Pit strategy is a little bit different here at Daytona. in the Pepsi 400, simply because there's 21 cars back, so Elliott Sadler's back. But yeah, like pit strategy is a little bit different here because it's only a 40-mile 400, it would be a 400-mile race, but it's a 40-mile race technically. So, you only got 16 laps to get that underway, and fuel can last up to, I think, 11, 12 laps or something like that. So you're going to see a lot of people pitting here early. So we're catching up to Jonathan Wolf here. Just trying to pass him nice and clean. No problems. He got up out of the way, so I just kind of, not going to give him any trouble or anything like that. Not so sure that the rivalry will continue now that we're not with RCR anymore, but I don't know, it might just depend. It may just depend. But anyway, our other sponsorship was Roush Racing. I think we're going to go ahead and come down this time by the way. By other sponsorship, yeah, Tires and Warren. I don't see a reason for us not to take 4 tires, so I'm just going to kind of go with it, because I don't see a reason for us not to take 4. We could take 2 and cheat the system here, but I don't see a need for us to do that. So we're just going to go ahead and be safe, take 4 tires, not worry about tire wear or anything like that, just bring it down pit road. Nice, smooth, easy, slow it on down. Alright, a little slow going in, but not too bad. Go ahead and, accept the changes. Alright, we got the most laps left. That's another 5 bonus points, so we're getting up there. Man, I love that paint scheme now. So I guess to get a little bit into this paint scheme is actually a little bit inspired by the Chase Elliott paint scheme of the Monster Energy Cup series. I wanted to kind of go something with that, and it's kind of funny that we're actually running Napa and Aaron's on the car, so it's almost an Aaron's Dream Machine, but not quite. But yeah, this paint scheme is actually sponsored by. Not sponsored by. This paint scheme is actually inspired by Chase Elliott, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. I really liked it and everything, and I wanted it to look really good, especially here at Daytona and everything under the lights. I thought it was going to look really cool. But yeah, our second sponsor now. We're back in 36, so we've got some work to do, but that's okay. People are pitting. We'll be fine. We have to see where we shake out after this. After these pit stops here, we should be cycled out to the lead, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised Sterling Marlin got up there pretty quick. But anyway, our second possible sponsorship package was actually going to be Roush Racing, and we would have taken over the 16. And you're going to think this sounds really silly, but I didn't want to. I just didn't. Yeah, there they are right there. So, ooh, wow, that's potentially second and third. 4th place right there. Wow, we have pulled a gap on them quite a bit. I'm pretty sure that's virtual 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. So if that's the case, we might be really sitting pretty. Well, let's just have to see, because like I said, they can have speed out of nowhere. But anyway, like I said, you're gonna think it's really silly, but if I take over 16, Chad Chaffin's not racing anymore, and Chad Chaffin is in the hunt for Rookie of the Year. I mean, he's got it locked up. And if I took that ride, if I took the number 16 from him, it's quite a possibility that he would still win it, because it was only a 12 race, sponsorship package and everything. So I would have to, he would get the car back, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. I know it's weird, that sounds silly and everything, but I just didn't feel comfortable taking a ride from somebody who's, about to win Rookie of the Year. So I was just like, no, so I just went, my moral ground took over, and I said, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead, and I'm going to stay with the 83. The 83 is good for 27 races, I think. So, well, these sponsors are good for 27 races. So, yeah, we're back in the 83, and we've pretty much gonna go full circle. We started out independently owned, and we're going to end independently owned. Maybe. We'll have to see. We'll have to see, because the season's not over yet. This is only the halfway point. Guys, we've checked out. We have completely checked out. I see someone pulling away from that pack back there, but we have completely checked out. And surprisingly enough, I'm looking at the field here, about to catch a lap down car here pretty soon, but I'm looking at the field here, they're still pretty stacked up. They're still pretty stacked together, so that's pretty neat. You know, I mean, there's a big gap between us and second place. And looks like another gap back to third. And there's, like, you know, a few packs, you know, sprinkled throughout the track here, but they're still pretty close. I kind of like that. It's Ryan Hornaday. He's going to be the only car one lap down. And I did notice that we had a car down pit road. I don't know who that is, but we had a car come down pit road early, but it never left. So we got a car that actually, unfortunately, was out of the race. Didn't cause a caution, fortunately, so that doesn't hurt us or anything like that. Although, I would kind of welcome a caution right now just for the sake of having something to do out on the track other than just kind of log laps, because that's kind of what we're doing here. We're coming around. Next time by is going to be 2 laps to go, but we have just literally dusted this field. We qualified a second faster, or our fastest time in practice was a second and a half faster than what we were running, what the pole lap time was. So, yeah, I mean, and that's not the first time that's happened. That's happened, you know, in other races this season at restrictor plates. But you know, there's always been somebody with me, you know, just to kind of prove, give me a little bit of a challenge, or just, you know, get me sweating a little bit, you know, because they were just right there breathing down my neck constantly. But not this time around. This time around, we have just absolutely checked out. And if all goes well, you know, we don't have any crazy... well, I mean, if caution comes out now, the race is over and we win, but... Man, it just looks like we have dominated this race, and next time by is going to be the white flag, and if all goes well, we hit our marks and everything, we got another win on this season, which will be definitely good in the points. We definitely want to get into the top 5 and start climbing our way back up there. Oh boy, a little loose, little bit loose there. White flag, 1 to go. Oh man. Now it becomes like the little nail biting issue here. Is something gonna happen? You know, is something crazy gonna happen? You just gotta wonder. Because we saw what happened at Michigan. Dale Jarrett dominating the race, and he blew his engine, but we're not redlining. We're not even close to redlining. We don't even have our strongest engine in this car right now. But we're doing really good. We're going to come off turn 4 for the final time. And for the second year in a row, we're going to go ahead and take the Daytona sweep as we win the Pepsi 400 here at Daytona. Fresh off of a win at Michigan. Fresh off of a 21st place finish at, unfortunately, that I couldn't show you guys, but fresh off of a finish, or probably our best finish at in this career mode anyway, at Sears Point. I keep wanting to call it Sonoma. But yeah, this is a good way to recover. Definitely needed this win. We need as many of these good finishes, great finishes as we can get. And by the way, guys, we are the Noble 5 champions. We got the top 5 at Richmond, so now we come here and we won, so it's an extra $1 million.
The yellow flag didn't fly at all in this one.
You know, that's pretty amazing. It says a lot about the quality and true talent of these NASCAR Winston Cup drivers.
The Napa car got the win with an impressive margin of victory.
I'm sure these race fans out here would have liked to seen a closer finish, but I guarantee you he didn't want to see anyone in his mirror on that last lap.
This has been NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, brought to you by EA Sports and MRN. So long, we'll see you next week at the Chicagoland Speedway.
Okay guys, so here are the race results in absolute dominating fashion. We are the winners of the Pepsi 400 here at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to come in second. Sterling Marlin runs in third. Michael Waltrip finishes fourth. Fifth is Mark Martin. Sixth is Tony Stewart. Seventh is Bill Elliott. Eighth is Ricky Rudd. Ninth is Dale Jarrett. And rounding out the top 10 is Kevin Harvick. And here is the rest of the field. You can pick out your favorite driver. Winner's purse of $186,000 plus the $1 million bonus for winning the No Bull 5 challenge. 4 lead changes. Time of race 13:25 thereabouts. Average speed 179 miles per hour thereabouts. And the margin of victory almost 11 seconds. My gosh, that was absolute domination, and unfortunately Steve Park of DEI falls out of the race on lap 6. Like I said, I noticed his car earlier down pit road, but the rest of DEI finished very well. It's just not surprised here at Daytona. Okay guys, so here are the point standings after the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has extended his points lead over Jeff Gordon, aka Jonathan Wolf. He is now 146 points ahead. Mark Martin is in third, 188 points back. Sterling Marlin is in fourth, 213 points back. We have climbed our way into the top 5, 226 points back. Sixth place is Dale Jarrett, 261 points back. Rusty Wallace in 7th, 336 points back. 8th place is Matt Kenseth, 438 points back. And 9th place is Tony Stewart, 443 points back. And rounding out the top 10 for Rich Childress Racing is Kevin Harvick, 469 points back. He's climbed his way back into the top 10. Let's go ahead and go through the awards for the week. That would be, we got the pole, we led the most laps of the race, all charged up goes to Chuck Spicer, one of the rookies. Fastest pace of the race goes to myself, obviously. I mean, I just kind of dusted the field. Chuck Spicer is the rookie of the race, and the most exciting pass of the race goes to Bobby Labonte. Honestly, I wish I would have saw it, but it is what it is. Rookie of the Year still being led by Chad Chaffin. Pole award, we got our 8th pole on the season, still leading in poles. Jackpot 5 winner, the Noble 5 contender, wins this race. That means in Richmond we have another chance to win a Noble 5 million, and also hopefully at Talladega. I want to try at Richmond because, man, I feel like I got robbed in that race because I choked, but it is what it is. Points, Chevy is still leading in points, no surprise there, 22 points ahead of Ford in the manufacturing championship. And the lap champion, we're still in third. I thought we had moved up a little bit, but no, Dale Jarrett actually is still quite a bit of a ways ahead of us, 14 points ahead of us. And Dale Earnhardt Jr. is really just running away with the laps led on this season. I hope we can get some more, and like I said, just continue those top 5, top 10 finishes. But anyway, that's all there is, guys. Like I said before, it's just kind of bittersweet that we had to leave RCR. I was really enjoying the run with RCR, and I was kind of hoping that we could continue. But, I mean, the sponsorship objectives were we just couldn't. They weren't feasible at this current point in time. Like I said, there was a chance for me to go to Roush, but I was like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't really want to. I know it sounds silly, but I just didn't want to ruin the chances for Chad Chaffin to win Rookie of the Year. You know, if I take over the 16, he's no longer in the race, but Elliott Sadler is now back in the race, so that's interesting. But either way, guys, I'm just I'm happy to be back in the 83, but at the same time, you know, I kind of do miss the package sponsors. Those were really fun. Those are really cool to be part of a team. But now we're back to our single-man team, McBlam Racing. Hey, we're back to our roots, and we're going to finish off the season where we began the season. So, you know, full circle, full circle. But anyway, guys, we got Chicagoland coming up next week. So I don't know how we're going to finish there. I don't know how we're going to run at Chicagoland. As I said before, mile and a halves are just hit or miss with us. We can run really, really well, or we can just kind of run mid-pack. So it just depends. So I'm hoping that we run really, really well. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into McBlam Racing or McBlam Entertainment, where we try to bring a little bit of enjoyment to your day every day. If you enjoy these races, I do them every weekend following the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I will see you at Chicago.